Today I want to read to you a book called Young Rosa Parks. This is another one of the Scholastic Character Counts books. This one is The Pillar of Fairness, the 6 Pillars of Character. This one is by Anne Benjamin, and it's illustrated by Ellen Beier. Rosa was born on February 4th, 1913. No one knew then that she would one day change the history of America. Rosa lived with her mother, brother, and grandparents in Alabama. When Rosa was growing up, black people didn't have the same rights as white people. In those days, schools were different for black children and white children. White children went to better schools and they had heated classrooms and new textbooks. Black children went to school in rundown buildings. They had no heat, no desks, and few books. Black children went to school for part of the year. During the rest of the year, they worked in fields to help their families. Rosa's grandparents lived on a farm. Rosa and her brother were lucky to have enough food to eat, but sometimes they were sad. Look, they're picking cotton. My grandma used to pick cotton when she was a little girl, too. African Americans were not always treated fairly or kindly. Sometimes they were afraid. Some white people, like members of the Ku Klux Klan, tried to hurt black people by burning down their houses and churches. Many innocent people were killed. Rosa's grandfather remembered these hard times. When Rosa was growing up, she liked to listen to her grandfather's stories. Her grandfather taught her to respect all people, no matter what color they were. Rosa learned a lot at the school she attended, but Rosa had to leave school to take care of her sickly grandmother. The dogs are drinking water. In 1932, when Rosa was almost 20 years old, she married a man named Raymond Parks. He was a good man who helped Rosa finish high school. They lived in Montgomery, Alabama. Both became members of the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. This group worked for civil rights. They wanted all people, no matter what color, to treat each other equally. My dogs are being noisy this morning. I'm sorry. Rosa worked hard in the NAACP. She knew black people were not treated fairly, and she wanted to do something about it. On December 1st, 1955, Rosa made a very important decision. She would take the first step to change things. I don't think when she did it, she knew she was changing things. She was really brave. On that day, Rosa left work feeling tired. She'd worked many hours sewing at her job in the department store. Rosa got on a bus and took a seat. Black people were not allowed to sit in the front of the bus. They had to sit in the back. Only white people could sit in the front. This is called segregation. It was the law in Montgomery, Alabama, and many other places in the South. The bus began filling up, and soon there were no seats left. The bus driver told Rosa and some other black people to give up their seats for white people. Rosa was the only one who did not follow the bus driver's orders. The driver told Rosa he would have her arrested if she didn't get up. Still, Rosa would not move. Rosa Parks was arrested and taken to jail. She was told to pay a fine. When Rosa was released from jail, she decided to not pay the fine. Instead, she fought to change the unfair bus law. Many people were ready to fight segregation, but Rosa took the first step. Rosa and her friends organized a boycott. A boycott is when many people come together and refuse to buy or use something. All the black people who usually rode the bus agreed to walk instead. This meant that the bus company would lose money. An important minister helped tell people about the bus boycott. His name was Martin Luther King Jr. He told people to fight for what they believed in, but to do it peacefully. While the boycott was going on, Rosa's lawyers took her case to the Supreme Court. That is the highest court in the United States. Rosa's lawyers said that Rosa should not have been arrested. They said that segregation on buses should be against the law because it treats black people unfairly. The bus boycott lasted for more than a year. Then on December 20th, 1956, the city of Montgomery got an order from the Supreme Court. Buses could no longer be segregated. This was a great victory, But many restaurants, stores, and even hospitals were still not open to African Americans. It took many years and many battles to end segregation. Rosa Parks worked hard for the civil rights movement. She earned many honors and awards for all that she did. But one right stands before them all, the right to be treated fairly and with respect. Thanks, guys. I love you. I miss you.